Bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone. I'm really happy to welcome you today for this first French Transformer ED French edition. I'm Stephane, the co-founder of COSE361, consulting bureau specialized in sustainable fashion. And I will be your host today with Transformer Foundation into this first edition. I'm really happy to present you this first Transformer ED French edition in collaboration with the Transformer Foundation. And I will let Miguel introduce the Transformer Foundation.
Okay. Salut Stéphane, bonjour. Bonjour tout le monde. Si vous êtes ici en Europe, c'est bon après-midi peut-être, mais on a des personnels qui sont en Asie, alors il faut dire bonsoir et même c'est bonjour si vous êtes à l'autre côté de l'océan. Okay, thanks very much, Stephane, for the introduction. This is Miguel Sanchez. I am director of the Transformers Foundation. The Transformers Foundation is an entity, an organization that tends to represent the supply chain of denim. We represent all the people that are behind a pair of jeans, from the fiber producer till the point of sale. So we have, let's say, different missions and values, and one of the most important for us, for the Transformers Foundation, is education. And we are very proud and very happy to foster education through these Transformers ED educational conferences. This is the first time that we make our conference in French, let's say. We have done many in English in many countries, and we have done in Portuguese as well, in Spanish, but this is the first time we do Transformers ED in French, and we are very happy and proud to do so. So we have, let's say, a very good program. Stephane is going to guide you through the everything that's going to happen during these 3 days. And let's say we have a very good selection of panelists and people presenting things on topics that we hope are of your interest. Ask questions, don't be shy, and ask anything that crosses your mind. Just ask. Okay, we are here to inform and to give you a guide on any topic that might be of your interest. Okay, so don't be shy, and then ask questions of any kind. We'll be very happy to answer. So this is my presentation of the Transformers Foundation. We are here to support that, and then I guess that Stephane is going to guide you through the program, what's going to happen during these exciting days. So Stephane, back to you.
Thanks you very much. Before going into the program, I also want to thank all the schools in France that allow this event to become a reality. So thanks to IFM, to Enamoma, to La Fabrique, to Lancet, to SMOD. Thanks to you, because we made this session a reality, and welcome to all the students of these schools and many other ones that are with us today. So today we'll first start these 3 days of Transformer ED by a special topic today around innovation, fibers, and machineries and finishing. So we'll display you the program right now. If you want, you can just display it for everyone to see at the same time. I will introduce it. But today we will first see how denim is made and what are the latest innovation in the field with Miguel and Romain. Then we'll have a very interesting panel on fibers innovation with Hélène, Nora, Anne, and Denis. And we'll continue our journey with Francis to make a deep dive into mechanical recycling, which is a very actual subject within the industry. And finally, we'll end this first day with Alberto and the innovation on chemistry. So I hope you will enjoy this journey, because it has been made for you, students, and do not hesitate again to type your questions into the Q&A session. We will try to have a Q&A session at the end of each session for 5 minutes for Q&A that we will select. So do not hesitate to display your Q&A within the session. and that's here for you to have a best discussion with all professionals on this industry. And again, very welcome to the first French Transformer ED edition. And let's start directly with Miguel. So Miguel, you already presented yourself, textile engineer, specialist. And yes, and we'll let you talk, bring us at the very heart of denim production from fiber to final wash effect. Back to you.
Okay, so let's talk denim. I will share my screen. I hope that everything goes well. Let me, okay, here, right? So I will make an introduction of what is denim, what denim is, and how it's made. You know, the general perception of denim is that it's a relatively simple type of business and it's very easy to make a pair of jeans, and this is totally wrong. Making denim is complicated and is one of the most sophisticated articles you can imagine in the fashion industry. So let me explain how denim is made from the very beginning, and you know, and telling you what are the terms, the words, what is the vocabulary that we use on denim when referring to fibers, yarns, articles, all these kind of things. So you understand the meaning of some of the important terms that are used in the denim industry. One thing that can, let's say, describe denim is complex. Making denim is very, very complex. So here what you have on the screen is a very simple map of the different steps that takes for denim to be produced. There are something like 24 or something like that, which is you know, a long number of steps. And here we're talking about only big steps. We're not talking about sub steps. I mean, small operations that happen covered by, you know, one of the you know, the lines of production. For example, when we speak about warp dyeing, it's not warp dyeing as such. It's warp dyeing, but is you know, including 5 other steps on that warp dyeing box. Okay, so we're talking about something that is very sophisticated and that involves a production connected by different transports. Denim moves a lot of material from one country to another. Fiber moves from one country to another. Fabric moves from one country to another. So transport is a very important aspect on the development of a denim article. The cost of transport is important and is something that has to be considered when developing, when designing a pair of jeans. So the big steps, the most important steps for making denim are here represented. We move from fiber. Here we express cotton is the most important fiber for denim since the late years of the 19th century, when denim started to become you know, an important article, workwear article for miners and farmers. Then we move to the preparation of the yarn, in this case as ring. We prepare the yarn for the dyeing. We have the wool warping here. We have the pre-weighting of the warp of the yarn, preparing it for the dyeing. The dyeing is done, you know, in different ways. We will see that with more detail eventually. Here we have a box for the indigo dyeing. Then we go for the washing off of the unfixed indigo. We fix the indigo and then we dry. Then we prepare the yarn for the weaving. And for that, we need to make a sizing, you know, protection of the yarn to prepare it for the friction that takes place in the loom processing. Then we go for the fabric finishing. We do the garment. We wash down the garment, and we make the final finishing of the garment. That is the last step before the garment is sent to the point of sale by, that a brand or a retailer has anywhere in the world. One thing I want to tell you before I forget is that denim is an important segment also, not because of the importance in the fashion element, in the fashion business, is in terms of value, is a very important business, because denim is moving around $80 billion per year, coming from 5 billion garments that are sold in normal conditions. In normal conditions, there is a market of 5 billion articles sold a year, and these 5 billion articles give a turnover of $80 billion. So it's a lot of money. It's a very big business. The cotton is the main fiber for denim. It still moves more than 90% of the fiber that is used in denim. There is one thing on denim that makes it very, very special, is the pioneer spirit of denim. Denim is not afraid of being used for testing new things. So denim is a great article for trying new things, for trying new fibers, for trying new chemicals, new application processes. Denim is great for open-minded people, okay? So when you work on denim, when you think about denim, be always open-minded, think open, because denim is happy to pioneer, to be the first reference for any new type of thing that you want to introduce. So on cotton, there are now artificial fibers that are perfect complements of cellulose-based fibers like cotton. The artificial fibers like tencel, they are regenerated fibers. They're the cellulose that are regenerated. They are dissolved and then regenerated by coagulation. And this is a type of element that is giving different looks, different styles, different looks to the articles. It's now a very good complement of, let's say, standard cotton. Also, something that is important on denim is that it's not only open to cellulose fibers. There are synthetic fibers as well. Synthetic fibers are used for a functional purpose. So the polyester is an element that complements the elastane, the stretch. Stretch is, elastane, elastic. So something that is stretchy is something that is elastic, and it's something that is an important part of the denim fashion. The elastic, the stretch, the capacity of the fabric to, stretch and then recover. That goes back to the original position, the original dimension. So polyester is used as a complement to elastanes, and elastanes are used for stretchy, tensile force fibers. Something that has become a new, even though that we're talking about very old fibers, something that has become a wonderful alternative to increase the possibilities of denim, the looks of denim, the appearance of denim, are the bast fibers like hemp. Hemp is now a standard element that complements the other fibers that we have been talking. I mean, hemp is a perfect complement of cotton, is a perfect complement for regenerated cellulose, and it's possible to create wonderful articles combining the different fibers in one go. So the advice to you as designers is to consider bast fibers. Hemp is just one of them, is the most important, but the advice is to take bast fibers into consideration when creating a new material. And another one that is has become extremely important, and it has a double advantage. One is the possibility of creating new looks and new aspects, and the other one is the possibility of reprocessing post-industrial waste or post-consumer waste. It's possible to take fiber that is coming from, let's say, residues from the industry. This is called post-industrial, residues coming from the industrial process. But it's also possible to take post-consumer. That means taking garments, jeans, that have been used by the user for a certain time, and then this garment can be recycled, can be mechanically recycled for the fiber to be reused again. This is also something that my advice is to consider recycled fibers in the composition of your materials when thinking on something new. The yarn that is, is going to be dyed can be presented in two different ways. One is called ring. That is the classical way of having a yarn. Ring means that the fiber are twisted very quickly around a cone, and then that produces a nice, very long fiber, nice tensile strength, good look, ring type of yarn. But in the late 1960s, there was the introduction of what is called open end. It's a different type of spinning, and is used for short fibers. And it gives different looks and appearance than ring. Okay, so ring and open end give different looks. Open end, for example, is a flatter, is a more flat type of look, and on the wash down gives a very classical marble type of effect. This is, for example, a standard that Levi's is having every season in their collection. They have open end because it's the spirit of the 60s, or spirit of the early 70s, and gives a different look to ring. Then the yarn is prepared for dyeing, prepared for the rest of the processing, and this can be done in two ways. One is called slasher. The yarn are, let's say, set in a way that every end is parallel to the next one to form a slasher, to form a kind of blanket, or rope. Rope means a cable that is formed of 450 ends, and there are different ends, different ropes where the yarns are bundled. Okay, we will see that here on more detail. So on rope, the number of ropes on the range are normally multiple of 12. So we have rope ranges of 12, 24, 36, and even 48, which this is for very big production. The picture that you see is a 12 rope range that you can see, and you can see what I mean rope, what I mean cable, what I mean, okay? There are yarns, 450 yarns, which are running together, next to other ropes. And again, we move from 12 to 48. In a slasher, it's different. In a slasher, every end is separate from the rest, and that goes like a blanket. It goes open, it goes like a blanket. And the number of ends, the number of warp ends can be 4,000, 4,500 ends, depending on how dense is the fabric that you are thinking of. Okay, so once we have dyed the yarn either on rope form or in a slasher, we have to prepare this for the weaving, and for that we make a sizing. We cover the yarn with a coating of starch. Normally it's a starch, with a coat of starch that will protect the end from the friction that is taking place on the loom. The loom is a very aggressive machine for the weaving, so it's important to have a very good size, because otherwise the yarn will be very hairy, and there will be broken end. The yarn will break because of the excessive friction. So the size is a very extremely important step to secure good quality of the final fabric, the appearance of the fabric. the possibilities of dyeing are many, but let's say in general terms, we refer to three main lines of dyeing for every end. We have the classical indigo. The indigo goes here, and then you can see that is a ring dyeing. It's only dyed on the surface. Okay, this is done because the indigo is a dyestuff that has a very low affinity for the fiber, and it doesn't have the capacity of migrating to the core of the fiber. It's a dyestuff that, you know, once applied on the yarn and oxidized, you know, fixed, tend to stay around the yarn. We call it ring dyeing. This is called ring dyeing effect. And then there are two more possibilities when we use indigo. One is called bottoming, and we combine a sulfur dyestuff on the bottom. In that case of the picture that you see is a yellow, and then the indigo comes around after the yellow. Or topping, where we put the indigo first, and then we add the sulfur dyestuff after the indigo. So every type of dyeing will give a different look, will give a different cast, a different shade. So it's also very important for you when thinking on a denim article, what is exactly the type of look that you want to have, okay? Because the effect will be visible at the very end of the process. You will see what the effect gives at the end when you make the wash down of the garment, and then is when you see the yellow, you see the green, you see the different cast that you have prepared on the previous steps. Okay, so you see here on the left bottom a diagram of a rope compared to an open slasher machine. These machines are big. These machines are really, really big machines, are massive machines that, require continuous control of many, many different steps. You see here a picture of a conventional slasher machine, and then you can compare the size of the operator, of the worker, with the size of the machine. And this machine is not, the biggest in the world. No, not at all. There are machines that are twice as long as this long range. Okay, so we're talking about very long machines with many things going on at the same time. Now, this is something we are going to skip, exactly. And then, okay, we have the fabric. And the fabric, we have two main type of fabrics to think of. One is called conventional, and the other one is selvage. Selvage is the classical denim fabric, and it's called selvage. You see, the fabric is very narrow. It's around 90 centimeters, and it's very narrow and is used for, let's say, high end, for high quality denim. So we have a selvage that is indicated by this special type of edge, you see, that is covering the edge of the yarn to protect it. It's self edge. So the self edge is a special denim of high quality, and is woven in very old shuttle looms like this that are from white oak. So the normal weaving twill is 3x1. And this is standard since the 1930s of last century, but you can still find 2x1. That was the first denim that was produced. The first denim that was produced at the time of Mr. Levi Strauss was 2x1, or you can make a special denim that is more coarse, more rigid. That is 4x1. One thing important is that the denim is measured on weight. Okay, so we speak about ounces, and ounces means ounce per square yard. Okay, this is the way denim is measured. Here you see a picture of the selvage of a denim I mentioned before. So the fabric is finished, first removing the fibers, the small fibrils. Then we fix the warp and weft, to form a 90 degrees angle. And then we prepare by a lubricant, the fabric for the garment making eventually. It's very important, all the steps here, because otherwise the fabric will switch, will move when the first time that is washed, and that will create a terrible look. Okay, so it's very important to make a good finish of the fabric. Well, the fabric is then shipped to the garment maker. It's shipped in this type of rolls. The rolls are around 150 meters. You need between 1.6 to 2 meters of conventional fabric for making a pair of jeans. You need more of a selvage. Remember that selvage is narrow fabric. And then, okay, the garment making is done in this type of mill that we see here in an example in Cambodia. This is, typical on Asia, that the garments are produced on these huge places, huge combinats. So we move to the wash downs to make the look that we all like on denim. And the wash downs can be general or localized. General means for the whole garment, and localized means for some parts of garment only. So we have, let's say, mechanical wash downs that we can do with a stone wash, for example, or by scraping. We have chemical wash downs that we do with ozone, for example, that we can do, or by spray of different chemicals that can be done with permanganate or sodium hypochlorite. And then there are modern alternatives on, let's say, that have become now standard, like laser or ozone, to expand, to increase the number of options that of effects that denim can offer. So then, okay, we have the garment already, the garments already made. We can put them on like a bookstore in a very nice, shelves here, or we can put them as a mountain. Denim is good for everything. So this is my, I think it's the almost last by one, is that not everything you find in the market is denim. Okay, it's called denim, but is not denim. Denim is what you have seen. Okay, denim is weft dyed. The weft is white, and then you can make effects like this that otherwise are not possible. But you can find in the market other options like this warp dye with reactive dyes. The polyester gives the white. It's not cotton, it's polyester. Then you can dye flat woven fabrics. They are cut on 5 pockets style, and then they are called denim. It's not denim. Or you can dye on garment form that is, just the shape of the garment, but not really denim. It's just dyed in garment and washed in some parts of it with mechanical abrasion, just to give a certain wash down look, but it's not the denim that you have seen. So this is the last slide. My message to you is that, okay, it's a very compact presentation, 20 minutes, but okay, what I want you to understand is that denim is an art, is art, okay, and you are the artist. So my advice to you is that think on denim like an art, something that is here to make something special, something new, something that is completely different to any other type of article, okay? So be artistic, be open-minded, think about everything, all the options that you have, because denim is great and denim is an art, okay? So that's all from my side. I know that I am late, as I am very sorry for taking much time, but I am very, I like denim so much that it's impossible for me to control my time. So I'm very sorry, Stephane, for taking a little bit longer than the time that was allocated to. So thanks very much all. And then there is any questions?
There is some
here
questions.
to reply. Okay, perfect.
Thanks a lot, Miguel. And this is passion speaking. So of course it takes time when we speak with passion, but that's also what we are willing to see. And that's really also something that rely all of us, Denimed, the passion for this indeed.
Exactly, Stephane. The passion, that's the word. Passion.
Yeah,
this is
passion and be passionate. That will the best advice I can tell to everyone for the newcomers in this industry. So let's go into the questions. We have first question from Anais. that comes back to the fiber part of your presentation regarding, can you explain the regeneration by coagulation? How does it work?
Okay. When you prepare a regenerated cellulose, the first thing that you do is dissolving the cellulose using one solvent. There are different solvents out there to produce different fibers. When you think about tencel, or you think about viscose, or you think about other type of fibers, the first step is dissolving. Coming from normally is wood. What is used is wood pulp, but it's possible also to use cellulose from used articles, from used textiles. So the first thing is to dissolve this, and then once it's dissolved, we need to regenerate the fiber somehow. So for that, we do a coagulation step. So we go from a kind of syrup. We go from something that it looks like honey. Then the honey is treated with a chemical in conditions that the cellulose is regenerated. The cellulose becomes cellulose back again. And the step to do that is called coagulation. Is when we coagulate the viscose. Even the name viscose, is the viscose is representing what the fiber is. Is we take something that is viscose and is not cellulose form, and then we reform the fiber on a coagulation step. And the coagulation can take place in different ways. Normally, is simple water that can be used, but there are different options for coagulating the fiber in one way or the other. That's what I meant for coagulation. Before coagulation, it's necessary to have a dissolving. We dissolve, then we coagulate.
That's perfect, and we will see more about this technology with the Fiber Innovation Panel afterwards, with Miguel in particular, and highlighting what they do with circulose fibers. So keep patience, and you will have much more information later on during this day. So going back for the second question from Thomas regarding the hemp use, more or less, questions regarding, is quality good through time and use, and can we have the same quality as we have on classical cotton denim using hemp?
Well, we're talking about different things. I mean, the hemp is a fiber that is there to it's not to increase the tensile strength, not to increase the quality of the fabric itself. It's there to produce a different look and different washes and different appearance. Okay, so the hemp is a fiber that helps to produce something different to what is normally achieved with 100% cotton. So I won't say that the denim produced with hemp, that, by the way, it's not possible to produce, well, it's possible, but it's going to be a little bit, let's say, uncomfortable, to produce denim using 100% hemp, because hemp is a bast fiber, is very rough. So I would say that with 100% cotton, you get a certain level of quality, and with hemp, that is used on a proportion of 20%, 25%, you obtain also a very good quality, but with other options, with other possibilities of looks. You can have different looks and different appearance and different styles with the hemp. So I don't want to say that cotton is better or worse than hemp, but I would say that hemp is a very good complement to cotton to produce new things, new styles, and new looks.
Thank you for this answer. I will take another question regarding the question from Ali. How can we make denim process more environmental friendly?
Well, okay. This is a question for...
We'll have a lot of solutions between the 2 days again. But you can
there are many options. There are many possibilities that they are already implemented. But okay, let's say the first thing is the selection of materials. For example, hemp. With the pick of hemp, automatically what happens is that you save water, because hemp requires less water than cotton for the production, for the growth. And then there are other possibilities like regenerated cellulose that we mentioned. This is also an option to reduce the water footprint, because there is no need to grow anything. There is no need to grow cotton. The fiber is produced in a plant with a certain amount of water, but always controlled, or is a bast fiber like hemp that is also requiring less water. Then other things that are important for reducing the footprint is the application process. There are different ways to apply indigo, to apply other type of dyes, and there is a wide diversity of possibilities that can save water by fixing indigo in a different way, or by applying other dyes than indigo to produce similar looks. So is that, and then on the garment wash down, that is also something that consumes water. Okay, I would mention that everything that implies the use of laser, ozone, the hand scraping, something done manually, this requires less water, and this is a very good way to reduce the water footprint, because here I'm talking about water. When you mention let's say more sustainable, there are different levels of quality. More sustainable means many things, but here I have just mentioned the options related to the water. Okay, but there are other things that need to be considered, like greenhouse emissions or generation of waste. This is also important for the sustainability of a pair of jeans. But if we speak about water, that is the big thing. There are options starting by the selection of fibers and so on until the very end of the garment wash down. It's a very complicated question and very difficult to give a proper answer in 5 minutes, really.
Yeah, but we'll touch upon it during the 3 days. So keep base with us, and